I remember this one time where I realized that there was something seriously wrong within people I trusted and loved the most. In fact, it was before I was divorced. We were at a friend's house. Actually, a very close friends of many, many years, friends we went to church with, so on and so on. People we trusted very much, even, like old youth leader from church and so on and so on. We were all sitting on the back porch talking, and we had all been drinking and just having a get together, playing pool and stuff. And we were talking about our history, our pasts, all the things that we'd done that we wouldn't, want to tell our kids. And our kids are little at this point. There's really a side story. I'm not going to mention it here, but anyway. So we're all sitting there and we're talking about, if we should tell our kids the truth about what we've done and not, and I said, well, I think we should tell them, like my parents never set me down, told me about, rugs and X, schmecks, and, like the consequences and, like nothing. The school, the DARE program, the health class, and I'm not dissing my parents because they gave me a proper foundation with Christ. So regardless of where I feel like they fell short, they did that for sure. One thing. So the most important one. And when I said that, I believe that we should all tell them the truth, about our past, so that they know that we have experience with it and we understand what it can do to somebody's life, and they all in unison looked at me and were like, no, not one person there, not one parent there, but me, had decided that it would be the best idea to be honest with the children about what we've been through. You know what I mean? You don't have to give them full disclosure, but to be honest about what we've been through so that they know that we know. But no, lies were the answer. That's what all the other parents had agreed upon. And I knew at that very moment in my heart, dude, something broke. And I knew something was very, very wrong in my family and in my inner circle of friends, who all eventually turned on me. And maybe that was the moment. Maybe that was the turning point. I was the one that would tell the truth. Truth about what everyone else was trying to hide. I was not ashamed or afraid of, but knew it was a lesson to be shared with those that come after 3:33 on the timestamp. Funny how the devil sees those things, huh? And says, oh, we got to root this one out. We got everybody else under control. But this one, we're going to have to smear. He knows the truth. He knows that testimony and the blood of Jesus defeats me. And we can't have that. This man has a strong standing. We have to take his word that everybody has been so sure of and turn it into nothing. Because right now, nobody's going to ever believe that he's, what I mean? If he keeps pressing this, I was already trying to start groups and you know what I mean? When you look back, you can see it all very clearly. Hindsight's 20/20. And if you know any of my music, you know how I feel about introspection. I don't care for it too much. But when you're looking back at a divine perspective to recognize patterns and things that are happening currently in your life, they become a very valuable asset in the arsenal of knowledge and wisdom that I have learned oh so many times over and over again. Through attack. You know, like, whew, I already faced all my worst fears. The hard part's over. You know what I mean? Then you're just in it for the long game. The truth always comes out. And if you're on the side of the truth, you have no fear. And that is something you can't fake. Rise above.